All right, so boom. I think today is what, Tuesday? Today would be Tuesday, meaning that tomorrow, or if I stay up late enough, tonight at 3 a.m., they're going to be dropping the first episode of Book of Boba. So basically, what I've been doing is trying to prep myself. You feel me? I don't even feel like everything from Mandalorian is necessarily going to get tied into it right away. Maybe later on in the season or in the series. But I just want to, get myself back in that mode, get myself back in that time, you feel me, space, so I could, be prepared for all the shit that I'm about to see. Catch myself back up with Boba Fett. I forgot. I don't want to call her a sidekick because she's fire as fuck. Damn, what if Finnick? Is it Finnick? I think that's her name. She's fire. Boba's about to take over the shit, blah, 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 blah. But they'll explain most of that here, so I just want to catch myself up.
It's been just over a year since the Book of Boba Fett was announced as a series at the end of the second season of The Mandalorian. Its first episode finally comes out tomorrow, so today we're going to go over everything you need to know for the series. Let's start with the official synopsis. The Book of Boba Fett, a thrilling Star Wars adventure, finds legendary bounty hunter Boba Fett and mercenary Fennec Shand navigating the galaxy's underworld when they return to the sands of Tatooine to stake their claim on the territory once ruled by Jabba the Hutt and his crime syndicate. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find any Star Wars fan, new or old, who doesn't know who Boba Fett is, but just in case, Boba Fett was the clone son of Jango Fett, the bounty hunter used as the template for the Republic's clone army. After Jango's death, Boba went into the family business and became one of the most notorious bounty hunters in the galaxy. He was hired by the Empire to capture Han Solo in The Empire Strikes Back. He delivered Han's carbonite slab to Jabba the Hutt, and in Return of the Jedi, he was knocked into the Sarlacc pit. He somehow survived, and 5 years later made his presence known in The Mandalorian, reclaiming his armor from Din Djarin and then helping rescue Grogu from the Imperial Remnant. Fennec Shand was also introduced in The Mandalorian's first 2 seasons. She was an assassin on the run who was captured by Din Djarin and Toro Calican. Toro shot her and left her for dead on Tatooine, where she was found and healed by Boba Fett. Fennec then traveled with Boba to get his armor back and helped save Grogu as well. But in 2021, we learned that she had a history with the Fett family. After the Clone Wars, Fennec Shand encountered the Bad Batch, altered clones of Boba Fett's father. She was hired by Kaminoan to protect Omega, another clone of Jango's who was not given...
Bring it back, what?
After the Clone Wars, Fennec Shand encountered the Bad Batch, altered clones of Boba Fett's father. She was hired by Kaminoan...
I did not watch the Bad Batch, so that's the reason why I'm not too familiar with Fennec. I did watch a good 65% of Clone Wars, so I kind of have an idea of the time range that they're talking about, right before I think chapter 3.
To protect Omega, another clone of Jango's who was not given age enhancement or an inhibitor chip. She was basically Boba's sister, although we have no idea if the two characters ever met or even knew the other existed. But that is an interesting detail dangling over Fennec, the fact that she has helped both of them at some point in her life. Now I'm going to dive into what the trailers and TV spots for the series have shown us, but honestly there isn't a whole lot to say because show producer Robert Rodriguez, who directed Boba Fett's first major episode in The Mandalorian, has said that all the footage we've seen so far is from the first half of the first episode. With 7 episodes in this season, at best we can maybe piece together the first...
There's only 7? Fuck. And all that's from the first episode? It was crazy. It did look like
the story, which is great. I'm glad they're keeping things under wraps. It's so strange to me that we seemingly know more about the Obi-Wan Kenobi series than we know about the series that premieres tomorrow. We know 12 cast members for Kenobi, and only 2 have been officially announced for the Book of Boba Fett. Others have popped up in trailers or interviews, but still, details are few and far between, and I'm excited to be kept guessing throughout the entire series. I want to point out that we are definitely getting flashbacks. The trailers and spots have shown us, of course, plenty of shots of Boba with his armor back, but we're also seeing him in his Tusken Raider-inspired robes, and we're seeing him before that. He's wearing his old jumpsuit that he had on underneath the armor, which looks suitably weathered. In the official featurette called Return of a Legend, both Boba Fett actor Tamora Morrison and Jon Favreau claim we'll see what happened to Fett in the 5 or so years between Return of the Jedi and the Book of Boba Fett. There are 2 potential flashback sequences shown so far in the marketing materials. First, when he's just wearing the jumpsuit, it looks like Fett will make his way to Tashi Station. Luke mentions wanting to visit Tashi Station to pick up some power converters in the first Star Wars film, and it was shown in scenes that were left on the cutting room floor. So we know what it looks like, and all of the shots in this location match up. We also might be seeing Luke's old friends, Fixer and Cammy, who were also present in those deleted scenes. Maybe they own Tashi Station now. I love this idea if it turns out to be true. I don't think anyone or any place will be called by name. It can all just be an unobtrusive Easter egg, something for long-term fans to recognize and smile at, but to anyone newer to the universe, it won't be distracting. It'll just be a random place with random people. Anyway, I would guess Fett travels to Tashi Station shortly after his encounter with the Sarlacc, looking for some sort of aid. The other flashback scenes show us Fett and Fennec venturing back into Jabba's palace, and at this point he's wearing the black robes and carrying his Tusken Raider weapons. They get into the hangar and approach his ship, the Slave One. Another really nice touch is that the hangar's exterior and interior all match maps for the video game Battlefront 2. I don't know, I just think that's neat. Nobody had to follow those designs. They could have changed stuff.
I've only played Fallen Order, but obviously a lot of people play Battlefront, so I know that within Fallen Order, like me just seeing certain things that popped up from the movies, just the way certain maps were and shit, that got me kind of geeked. So for them to say that this like exactly replicated certain shit in Battlefront 2, I know people who play that game will probably like fucking going crazy, like, or will go crazy when they see these scenes.
In Jabba's palace, and I don't think many people would have complained or even noticed. But the effort to keep things consistent is so cool to me. These scenes likely take place before Fett tracks Din to Tython to recover his armor. And for a quick...
The thing that scared me the most was the implication.
You're alright, buddy.
Armor reminder, after Boba Fett fell into the Sarlacc, he escaped, but as he describes it multiple times in these trailers, he was left for dead. I imagine Jawas came to scavenge what was left of Jabba's sail barge and then stole his armor. Not long after, they came across Cobb Vanth, who traded some crystals for the armor so he could protect his town, Mos Pelgo. Din Djarin then helped Vanth kill a crate dragon in exchange for the armor, and Fett took the armor back from Din on the planet Tython. But that does bring up the question, why did Boba wait 5 years to do that? He was on the same planet as his armor. He seemingly even knew where it was and how to track Din once he took it. I hope that's one of the questions we get answered. If I had to guess, he probably saw that it was being put to noble use by Cobb Vanth. I'm sure Fett also needed some recovery time. And I also wonder if he was going through some sort of self-doubt. Being knocked into the Sarlacc by a blind man with a stick and then being mugged by Jawas would make anyone question themselves. Maybe he thought he didn't deserve the armor for a while, but seeing the struggles of people on Tatooine, like at Tashi Station, eventually makes him think he can actually do some good if he were to take control of the planet as a crime lord. I mean, he won't shut up about how he plans to rule with respect. He mentions it in every single TV spot. So I do think he has aspirations to be like a kind of benevolent crime lord or something. It'll be interesting to see how major Star Wars themes like selflessness versus selfishness come into play in an underworld-focused story. With Jabba gone, someone had to take his place, and it sounds like the first antagonist we'll meet is the Mayor. We see a Twi'lek character welcoming Boba Fett on behalf of some mayor, and we later see the same man next to this Ithorian on an important-looking chair. I would guess he is the mayor of Bestine, Tatooine's capital. He appears to have a bunch of red-clothed henchmen that are seen attacking Boba and Fennec on multiple occasions. And we see Boba Fett straight up exploding some of them. I like that we might see Fett struggling to be that benevolent kind of ruler, but being pulled back into violence by the world he's chosen to lead. It's all well and good to say you're going to rule with respect, but not everyone responds to that.
Where he's going after the mayor?
If you end up ruling through fear, you're no better than the Empire. I just want to make sure Boba goes through some changes and develops as a character. I was afraid The Mandalorian would be a show about a cool guy in cool armor doing cool things. And it was, but it also wound up having a lot to say, so I have full faith that the Book of Boba Fett will follow in its footsteps.
I think it's gonna be
We've
fire,
also seen
bro.
a couple shots of a speeder bike gang, mostly a bunch of Niktos, but two members stand out, a younger man and woman on some red and blue hot rod looking bikes. I know absolutely nothing about them. I believe the actor is Jordan Bolger and the actress is Sophie Thatcher. If I want to really go tinfoil hat, Thatcher looks a lot like Aura Singh in complexion and wardrobe. Maybe they're related. I don't really think so, but that's where my conspiracy brain jumped to almost
Fuck?
immediately.
I didn't watch any of
And
these TV
Singh
spots.
is a character who has history
Characters
with
are
Fett.
new to me.
Maybe the bikers work with the mayor, but I'm gonna guess they're another faction that maybe Fett will team up with to take the mayor down. Finnick Shand mentions a first wave and that, quote, they're going to war. For now, I'll assume that means the mayor and his men. It'll probably take more than just Boba, Finnick, and a few Gamorreans to win this fight. They'll need allies. And that's pretty much everything we can say for
Probably.
sure. I could speculate or offer up my hopes. For example, I think we're going to see the series connect with The Mandalorian in some significant ways.
Yeah, at
There
some
were
point.
reports of the Book of Boba Fett basically being The Mandalorian Season 2.5. As for hopes, I don't want the whole season to take place on Tatooine. I hope something sends Boba away to other planets, maybe to
Yeah.
meet with other criminal syndicates. I'd
Yeah.
love to see Black Sun or the Pikes pop up. But really, we just don't know much at all about this series, and I'm excited by that. I can't wait to finally see what surprises they have in store for us tomorrow and over the course of the next 7 weeks. And here's what you can expect from us. We will do a review video on every episode the day it releases, as well as a live stream those same evenings with some guests to discuss the episodes and take your questions. And of course, I'll probably be doing videos throughout the week on lore or themes or whatever.
So, the first takeaway that I have is that this is only 7 episodes. So, you feel me? That could be both a gift and a curse. Like, 7 episodes could either mean that they specifically know, because this is like niggas been knew they was doing this. I think this was ready probably the same time that season 2 was ready of Mandalorian. So it could mean that they just have everything from episode 1 to 7 so concisely put together, laid out, planned out, everything that every single episode is just gonna smack. Or it could mean in a negative way that it's not gonna, because just like he said that he wants, like, I want that too, to see them like go out to different planets and, you feel me, deal with other different crime syndicates and this that. So like, I don't want it to just be a in that city problem and that just lasts for 7 episodes. Excuse me. I think he said Bestine is the capital of Tatooine and ran by that mayor dude. So like obviously he's going for power. He took out Jabba, blah blah blah. So now he probably has to take out the mayor or deal with the mayor. But like, I don't want it to just be that problem for 7 episodes and then it's over. Like, I want it to be like you feel me, like a galaxy wide like crime syndicate. Hey, yo, you heard what Boba's doing? Like, he blah, 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 blah. Like, you feel me? Like, just have shit get crazy. Like, that's kind of what I wanted. So, who knows? Who knows where it goes? But we'll find out in less than 24 hours. You feel me? It's like 4 or 5 o'clock right now. So, either later tonight or tomorrow, I'll get to watch episode 2. So, see you.